This episode, What the Heck sits down with the Office of Diversity and Equity, which just finished celebrating its 15 years of service with its very own quinceañera. We got to speak with a few of the staff members that make up the office, and we asked them about their experiences working with ODE both personally and professionally. This office holds many different programs as well as support systems for our organization, so we thought, why not highlight some of them? We hope you enjoy this very brief look into the unique world of diversity and equity throughout our organization, and like always, thank you for watching.
Our office encompasses a range of vital programs and initiatives, some of which are workforce education and training, our culturally informed community programs such as a parent project or a storytelling series, supporting our Mental Health Services Act work, overseeing culturally and linguistic appropriate services for BHRS, our BHRS internship program, and our cultural stipend internship program, our 9 health equity initiatives, our health ambassador programs, suicide prevention efforts such as our Suicide Prevention Committee and suicide prevention trainings, our multicultural organizational development plan and work, which we call MCOD, and our government alliance in race and equity, our GARE work in collaboration with health. We also oversee annual campaigns such as Suicide Prevention Month and Support Recovery Month in September, and our Mental Health Awareness Month in May. In addition, we manage and oversee around 60 contractual agreements with community partners to deliver workforce and community support programs. Since its inception in 2009, the Office of Diversity and Equity has played a transformative role in embedding equity and inclusion into the core of BHRS.
Hello, my name is Tia Bell. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I am the Health Equity Initiative Coordinator for the Office of Diversity and Equity. So my role as the Health Equity Initiative HEI coordinator is really to be of service and support to the co-chairs as well as the community members. That really means supporting them in planning, executing, facilitating, mobilizing, all those fun things to ensure their events, their trainings, workshops, or anything that they're putting together goes off smoothly. So I support on the back end to ensure that they are getting what they need. Also supporting them in terms of being that main person, that go-to person of support when things are needed. ODE has reshaped my view of community. I really think about our team values, which is really interesting because I think I was doing those things before but didn't really have a name for it. So I think having this opportunity to show a lot of humility and learning and growth when I'm working with different populations, because I may feel like coming in that I knew certain things about different marginalized communities, and actually coming in and learning that I may have had my information wrong. So really having the opportunity to really be humble and to learn and to really reshape my view of how other people view community as well, because I know how I viewed community. And I think taking in other people's perspective has fully empowered and grown my own sense of community and really wanting to be a part of it, and in a way that feels authentic, it feels real and doesn't feel like phony, and just really showing up and doing what I can as just one person. And I'm really finding that just showing up as that one person, I'm able to do a lot by also being welcomed into these communities.
So my name is Stacy Williams. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the internship coordinator for the Workforce Education and Training team within the Office of Diversity and Equity. Sure. So I oversee all of the behavioral health division's internship programs. Those include clinical internships, which we also provide an opportunity for a cultural stipend within those clinical internships. And then I oversee the Office of Diversity and Equity interns and project leads. So just organizing and recruiting from fruition to the end of the internship and everything in between, but more at the macro level. So doing more systemic types of duties within those constructs.
How do people get connected for the internship?
Sure. So every December, January, I post a placement list for our behavioral health clinical interns with our local colleges, and like internship fairs. I also share information as well as posting through Handshake, Indeed, and Idealist, which are recruitment portals that also kind of help me narrow in our target market of recruits that fulfill the marginalized spaces that we seek, right? So we always seek to provide internships to those that are most marginalized or can identify with the marginalized population.
So I am Doris Estremera, use she, her pronouns. I am the Mental Health Services Act Manager for Behavioral Health and Recovery Services Department. So as the Mental Health Services Act Manager, I oversee our 1% tax on millionaires that we have here in California, known as the Mental Health Services Act. It's a revenue source that Behavioral Health and Recovery Services has received over the years since 2004 when this legislation was passed. I get to oversee how that funding is allocated, facilitate the community input, the client input, the staff input into the allocation of the funding. I also oversee the reporting, ensuring that we can share on the impact that these revenues and programs and services that are funded by MHSA are. So I oversee all the reporting, both in terms of outcomes, so like impact on clients, impact on communities, and also fiscal reporting. So how our money's being spent, ensuring that we're meeting the legislative requirements around that. So that is another big part of my role, is really staying on top of the legislation, the requirements, and everything that comes over the years. MHSA has been known to be the one area in terms of bills that receives the most Senate bills, amendment bills, really trying to either amend or reallocate, or just all sorts of restructuring for MHSA over the years. It's always been an important part of my role that I stay on top of that, and all that is incoming and planning. So I think those are the big things. It's the community planning process, our fiscal reporting, our outcome reporting. With Prop 1 passing this past March, to the ballots passed, it really is restructuring not just the millionaire's tax. So it does restructure the allocations of the millionaire's tax, and it does have a significant impact on the kinds of work that we get to do. The biggest impact is losing our local prevention allocation for prevention programs, which the Office of Diversity and Equity was highly involved in that, in a lot of the prevention work. And so there's the impacts that are happening directly because of the millionaire's tax and the funding allocations, but also impacts to our entire system and kind of how we look at really unsilo, these revenue streams, and really take a big picture approach at planning. And so this community planning process work that I've been overseeing just for the millionaire's taxes is now really going to be for our entire system. Our reporting is going to report on all our revenue sources, and including fiscal reporting and outcome, the impact on clients. So I'm really thinking about all that. It's a huge infrastructure change for us as a system. And so that's really the angle that I'm coming at now, looking at ODE and growth. I mean, I think that ODE has done an amazing job of building relationships with the community, really kind of holding these two spaces, and they're so important. So I am a little worried, I can't say I'm not, concerned about, where that space is going to be held in terms of the community voice. And so obviously we've got the community planning process. We're going to keep doing that. But I think that ODE really went above and beyond in making sure that communities were engaged, that we were building capacity in our communities to get involved, in planning processes, to get involved in our systems. So I think there is going to be, gap with the loss of prevention dollars. So I think that's really been the strength. It's kind of ODE has held both the kind of looking at our internal system and how do we create a system that's culturally informed and that we're responsive, and also right holding kind of the community's voice and needs and doing work there as well. And so now.
All right. Hello, my name is Frances Lobos. I use she, ella, and I am a community health planner for the Office of Diversity and Equity. Oh, wow, that is a great question. We've changed a lot as a team, and I think that we've learned a lot about hearing community, remaining flexible, and also learning about being a trauma-informed system and really supporting our workforce as we're trying to improve services for our clients and consumers. So CLASS is an acronym for culturally and linguistically appropriate services. And these are actually a set of standards. These are national standards that support health systems, that support government entities, really provide a framework to how to support diverse communities. So it could be anything from the type of leadership that we have in our system to having appropriate language resources, for example. So it's about how we govern our systems, what resources we provide for staff, how we make assessments how to provide services to our communities. So it's really a framework. And this is something that as a system we track and we report on every year. So the way that we utilize the information, not only do we have state mandates that require us to track information and report on an annual basis, but it really gives us an opportunity to look at trends, right? To really look at a wide view of our system, underclass, right? And what are the things that we need to do to improve? So part of the process with our cultural competence plan, for example, which is part of this annual reporting system, is to be able to provide that information back to community, to develop a document that we can provide to our leadership to reflect on, and also to guide us, right, to what are the gaps in our system and what are things that we want to change.
We want to thank you again for spending some time with us to learn about the various ways equity works throughout our organization. We hope to come back to the ODE team and speak with more team members soon to keep you all informed on things that are shaking up in the new year. Feel free to peruse some of our other videos or head over to our link hub where you can send in ideas for future episodes. We thank you for your viewership. Bye.